guys, I figured I'd just let you get on a little secret here. How I get my own music collection. It's all completely 100% legal in every state and every country. And nothing illegal about this. I don't download stuff off the internet. I record my own. And how I do it is I have a really good digital audio tape machine. This is as good as it gets. These things you can get now pretty cheap because they're pretty much an obsolete technology these days. This is as good as you can get for a recorder. And I use tape. The reason I use tape instead of a disc-based system is it just makes things a lot easier. What I do is I have my digital audio tape machine connected up to my subscription music service, and you can use anything. You can use your DirecTV or your Dish Network or Music Choice, DMX, or whatever your favorite subscription service is. And I set it to one of my favorite channels, and I just put the tape in and let it record. And once I've done a number of tapes, each of these tapes is 2 to 3 hours long, depending on the length of the tape. Now I can sit down with my favorite software for recording. I've got my digital output from my DAT deck. Oh, I record it digitally from my cable box using the optical output. I've got my digital output from my DAT deck hooked into my computer, and I just play the tapes back. And when I find something I like, and this is one of the reasons I do it off tape, is because it gives me just a little more flexibility for queuing up. I've got my recording going. I decide I want to record this song. It lets me queue up, and then when I get to the point where the song is going to start, hit record. Now I'm recording the track. And once the song finishes recording, I can ID this thing, I can sound hound it, see what the song is if I don't know what the name is. Anything I like, I'll just record it in this manner onto my computer. It's going in as a direct digital recording, so I'm not losing any quality. And I'll just sound hound it or Shazam it or whatever to find out what the name of the song is. And then when it's done recording, I just stop it. Click on file. Well, I'll show you when it finishes here. So we're going to record this track here, and then I can go and trim the end if I let it record a little too long. I can go edit it, trim it. I'll show you what I do at the end here when it's done, and then it's ready to save, and then I just move on to the next one. That's how I do it. There are other ways to do it, but this is by far, I find this is by far the easiest and best sounding way of capturing music without having to go through all the hassles of BitTorrenting and then having to deal with the potential fallout from copyright infringement. This way here, you record what you want, it's legal. So I saved the other track without realizing that the camera wasn't actually in record. Going on to my next track, so I've skipped a track here because I didn't want that Diana Krall song that's playing. So, because I already got it for one. But I do want the next one, and I note on the counter here where it's going to start. It starts at 1740, so now I can just back my tape up a bit, give myself a bit of a pre-roll, and when I get to just before the song starts, I click the record button again here on the computer and let it go ahead. Record this song. Once the song is done, I'll show you how I edit it here because I missed that the last time. So now that the song has ended, I click on my stop button here. Oh, I wonder where I got this recording.
Jazz. Watercolors.
So this was actually
XM71.
This was actually recorded off XM. So I recorded this tape a long time ago because I no longer have an XM subscription, but I did for a while there. This tape was recorded a couple of years ago. I now record everything off of my subscription on my cable system or off of my satellite dish because there's a number of music channels there. Anyway, that's beside the point. Music is music. I go back now, and we can see if we look on the screen here. Here's our edit point. Right, if I put my cursor on here, I can play it out. Right, okay, I want to cut it. Just take out the end piece there. Go back to the beginning, my opening and click back on, hit the rewind button to get me back to my start frame. Looks good. Maybe I want to just take off that little bit of a start there just so that there's nothing at the beginning. And then I can just go and click on File and Save. And we'll save this track to the hard drive. So I click on File, I click on Export, and then I got to type in the name of the track, which I've got off of SoundHound. So we'll just type the name of the track in and save it. So now it's saved. Once the file has been saved, I can go back and click on File, click Close, and that'll open up waiting for the next track, and I can go back down my DAT machine, press play once more, find my next track, and if I listen to it and decide I want to use it, I think I will keep that so I can cue it back. This is why I like to use tape. It's just very flexible. Very flexible, whereas a disc-based or a file-based format, it's too hard to control unless you have some real professional editing equipment. It's just, I find this is just a lot quicker and a lot easier because it's a linear fashion, and I've got a 2-hour or 3-hour tape. If I get tired of working on it, I can stop and I can just pick up right where I left off and don't have to remember where I was. Just leave the tape where it sits. So
Sim 71.
I'm watching my counter. Looks like it's going to start it. So I'll just back it up a bit.
Sim 71.
And then I'll just click record. And then I've got the next song starting to record here. And then when that one finishes, again, we'll save it exactly the same way as I just did the previous two. And that's how I get my collection of music. This particular music that I recorded off XM, this was actually, I had a trial of, I had XM radio in my car, and they gave me that free, the free trial on the internet bit on the computer. So while I had that trial, I made a few tapes and just logged a few tapes. Did it the same way because I've got digital input and output on my computer. And I've got digital input and output on the DAT machine. So I just took the digital output from my computer, took it into the DAT machine, and now I'm taking that same signal, I've just reversed it, and I'm going back into the input. So now I'm taking it back into the computer and just cutting together the tracks that I want to keep. That's how I do it. It's 100% legal everywhere because it is perfectly legal to record anything off the radio. That has been challenged in court already, and that one was found that it is perfectly legal. The same as it's no different than recording TV shows, and that was challenged back in the early 80s. That was the Betamax ruling between Disney and Sony, that it was legal to record TV programs and radio shows for your own use. Now, obviously, you can't share it with anybody. Then it becomes copyright violation. But this is perfectly legal because you're paying for the service that's coming into your house. It's no different than recording off the radio. And for that matter, you can do that too. If you've got a good FM radio station, you can plug an FM radio into this. The key to the quality is to do it with a digital tape format such as DAT, because this is a no compressionless system. You can do the same thing with mini disc. You could do the same thing with cassette, although cassette's an analog format, so it's not going to sound as good. Mini disc, it is a digital format, but it does use a fairly compressed signal. The audio is fairly compressed, and the idea, the whole point of trying to get the best possible sound quality that you can is to be able to do it digitally as an uncompressed signal. And digital audio tape is the only format you can do that with. Again, you can get these are dirt cheap. If you look on eBay or Craigslist and stuff, I've got a line on another DAT machine for $30, and I'm going to scoop it as soon as I can get in touch with the guy. Actually, I've already been in touch with him. I just haven't set up a time to meet with him. But these things are a dime a dozen. So grab yourself a DAT deck, grab yourself some tapes, and happy recording.